I'd like to call this meeting to order.
Okay.
All right, apologize for my tardiness here.
All good.
There's a lot of traffic in this county, isn't there?
There's a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, again, like to call to order the September 5th meeting of Parks and Recreation Advisory Board. If we'd all stand and please pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, why don't we start with introductions? Phil?
Phil Kaiser, south of the Broad.
Ron Campbell, north of the Broad.
Bruce Yeager, Chairman, South of the Broad.
Alan Arsenault, south of the Broad.
Mark Renix, north of the Broad.
Dr. Carlos Cave, District, representing Beaufort County School District.
Shane Stager, Deputy Director.
Dale Butts, Assistant County Administrator.
Devin Christian, Athletic Leadership Club.
Natasha George, Fiscal Tech, Buford.
Jeremy Way, Marketing Coordinator.
Marissa Freeman, Program Manager.
Eric Brown, Parks Director.
Angela Burnett, Park Manager.
Rob Rosick, athletic supervisor, south of the Broad.
Scott Cheney Levin, Athletic Supervisor, South of the Board. Harold Patola, Athletic Supervisor,
Brandon Whitener, Assistant Athletic Manager, Beaufort. Alex Hunt, Athletics Manager, Beaufort. Brock Maw, Athletic Supervisor, Beaufort.
Great, thank you. I'm presuming in that 7 minutes or 8 minutes I was late, you've reviewed the agenda. Can I get someone to give me a motion to approve the agenda?
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Review and approval of the July minutes which are attached. Has everybody had a chance to review these?
Yep.
Do we have any discussion or any changes? Okay. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, they're approved. Very good. Review and approval of the proposed 2025 meeting schedule, which is after there.
Move to accept the schedule as presented.
Second.
All in favor? One question I would have is that November 6th, isn't it? No.
November 7th. Oh, 6th.
What's that?
No, you're 6th. Yeah.
Yeah, so is that Tuesday, the election day, or is that?
No. That's 25.
125.
That's 25.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Thank you. I left my head south of the Broad River, so I appreciate that. Okay. Did we have a motion to approve those?
So moved.
Yes, we did.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, very good. All right, we've got some requests for waiver.
Public comment.
Public comment.
Public comment.
Oh, I'm sorry. What did I miss?
Number
here?
5.
5.
Ah, my bad. Okay, I jumped right over that. Do we have people here for public comment? Anybody here for public comment?
I'm here for request. Parks and Recreation.
Okay,
Is it on the agenda?
is it on our agenda?
You're pickleball, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Pickleball.
All right, we're gonna talk about that later. Anybody else here for public comment? Either of you two? I know that lady right there. How are you? Good to see you. All right. So, okay, no public comment. We've already approved the July minutes. We've approved the meeting schedule. All right, sir, why don't you come up and
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Brian Fenlon. I'm the commissioner of the Low Country Pickleball Leagues.
Okay,
We're a local pickleball adult recreational league here in the Low Country. We comprise the geography from Hilton Head Island out to Beaufort. And part of our mission within the league is to run local charity tournament events. We've run a couple last year, and we'd like to run at least 2 every year. Our issue is finding courts and real estate in order to fund, operate these tournaments. I met with Brandon a month or so ago, and we were talking about using the new pickleball courts on Burton Road, the Burton Complex.
Burton Wells.
Right, and so he put me on the agenda for today to, on behalf of the league, to hopefully appeal the fees that are charged to rent the courts. And the reason we're looking to negotiate those fees is, from our perspective, the more money we can give the charity, the better off that charity is. So that's why I'm here today, to hopefully negotiate a possible reduction in those court rental fees for those 2 days. Saturday, Sunday, I believe it's November 16th, 17th, that we'd like to hold the charity tournament event at Burton Wells.
Okay, is your entity a 501c3?
Yes, we are.
Okay, and who are you raising money for?
Our captain's committee, I haven't selected the local charity. In the past, we did the Low Country Boys and Girls Club. We did Bluffton Self-Help, and there are other charities that are in the local community that we're taking a look at. So we haven't finalized our charity yet, because we simply don't have a place to play.
Gotcha, so last year you said last year did you have a charity event?
2023, we held 2 events. The first event was held at Margaritaville. We raised $7,500 in 1 day for the Boys and Girls Club. And the second event was held at Palmetto Bluff on a 2-day event. We raised over $10,000 for Bluffton Self-Help.
Okay, and for these 2 days, how many hours are you gonna be using the courts, and how many courts are you gonna
So
be using?
we're looking at all 8 courts. On Saturday, we're looking at approximately 9 hours. On Sunday, 8 hours. So we'd like to give the participants who are arriving early a chance to warm up a little bit and try to get a jump on the schedule, simply because with basically every sporting event, you always wind up running over.
Okay, and 100% of your proceeds are going to charity?
We take administration fees out because it does cost me money to run these charities, and that's all visible. It's because I'm a 501c3, I'll gladly supply you with what our expenses are. After we deduct our expenses, the remaining funds do go to the charity. I do not get paid for my time, it's just the expenses that are involved in running the particular events. And in comparison, we just kicked off the women's doubles, mixed doubles season, and we have about 1,100 ladies playing in this fall season. The amount of time that goes into organizing and operating a charity is twice the amount for me with respect to scheduling and collecting player waivers and everything that's involved with the nuts and bolts of running the league.
Okay. Have we looked into these dates and whether these dates have any conflicts?
No conflicts.
No conflicts at all? Okay.
What kind of usage do they normally have on those days, on the weekends?
We're not there a lot on weekends to know. I know they get usage, throughout the week and on weekends pretty regularly. But as far as peak hours, I don't know that I can speak to that.
Okay.
In meeting with Brandon, he kind of said that it's a hidden gem type of thing where people kind of just show up. They'll
Right.
make minimal reservations, but it's, ones and twos will show up and play, so. And the other thing too, with respect to registration, I gladly give the residents of Beaufort an opportunity to play, to register first. For me, it's not about who plays, it's about how many people we get out to participate, so we can give a respectable contribution to the charity we chose.
Sure. Does anybody here have any knowledge of his charity, Low Country Pickleball
I
Leagues?
don't know. I just know that all the pickleball courts
No,
in
no,
Bluffton
no,
are
no,
always
play.
used.
So we're relatively new to the Beaufort area. I would say women's doubles last year, no, before that, we had mixed doubles beginning of 2023. So our seasons run mixed doubles at the beginning of every year. In the spring of every year, we do men's doubles. The fall, we have women's doubles. So a lot of our growth has been through word of mouth, and it's expanded so far as to Beaufort from the Bluffton area. So we now have, I think, 4 communities from the Beaufort area participating.
Right, so, but to be clear on this is strictly a philanthropic event over 2 days on this weekend.
Absolutely.
Okay.
What would the cost be? Do we know?
Yeah, what are our costs? Trash removal or?
No, I mean,
It's rental of the courts.
what's the,
hours.
Oh, you mean, what are our typical costs for the,
well, how much would it cost for 8 courts for 17 hours?
I think if I believe correctly, if I recollect, I'm just going off the top of my head because I brought my incorrect notebook. I think it was 1,800 total for the 2 days.
It's between 1,800 and 1,900. I think it was, if I remember correctly, 1,840, I believe is what the total was.
okay. Thank you. Well, clearly, we have to make things available for our, normal public payers, but, the flip side of that is if you're gonna generate, I mean, what do you estimate you would generate at this fee for, using this facility for these 2 days for charity? I mean, what do you estimate?
So last season at Palmetto Bluff, they had 6 courts over 2 days. We had approximately 546 matches. So with 8 courts, and that was roughly $10,000 we raised for them. With 2 additional more courts, I'm expecting somewhere in the neighborhood of 600 to 700 matches with those 2 additional courts. And again, all this is dependent upon registration.
Sure,
And through the league, we've got now 3,000 members participating,
right.
including Beaufort. So that'll be advertised throughout the league. And if I need so, I would advertise in local papers as well.
Mhm. And those would be part of your costs, obviously.
Absolutely.
Right, but you're giving me an estimate that you're gonna probably raise, or giving this board, maybe $10,000 to give away
Absolutely.
to charity.
I anticipate that as being the minimum.
Yeah. And as of today, which is September, what day is it? September 5th, right?
Yeah.
We have clearly over 60 days of advance notice for the use of those courts. I don't believe we probably have any reservations for those courts right at this moment. And you've provided us with your insurance certificate as well,
Yep.
so everyone will be insured.
And we also have our participants signing mandatory
Waivers.
player waivers, yes.
Yeah, okay. I personally think that a selective short-term use for 2 days to raise that kind of money in our community is pretty significant. And I applaud you for doing that. Ask our director, is there any reason you think that we shouldn't do this? Okay. I'll entertain a motion.
If I may,
Sure.
if there's a charity in Beaufort that you feel is worthy, I have no issues, no problems whatsoever in contributing to that, your local charity. I'd like to keep it local because the local charities tend not to get the government grants that, like United Way and organizations like that receive. So we're looking to help close to home.
And you don't really have to give it all to one charity. You can give some,
We can, absolutely.
give to
Yeah,
a
we
couple
can divide it
charities.
50/50, 25, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me at all, as long as we get the money to the people that are most in need.
I would think too, there was some issue when we built those courts of whether or not they would ever get used because of their location. And I think we found certainly that they will. And I think the fact to have that many players come out and participate on our facilities, maybe some who haven't done that before, would be fantastic exposure.
So I think it opened eyes, it might get more attention to the sport.
Well, the sport is growing, it's just that,
Yeah, I know.
to me, I'm involved locally with pickleball, and went, by accident, I found out about Burton Wells, and to me, it was shocking, so.
That's what I'm saying, the participants in Beaufort would grow.
Yeah.
And the other thing too is we're working with another group on Hilton Head Island. So if we can bookend and pull everybody from the Bluffton area out to Beaufort and back over to the island, to me, it's a win-win.
Right, no question, no question. Any further questions?
Yeah, are you, is this, you plan on doing this annually, or is it gonna rotate?
That's the goal. We'd like to run two every single year.
At Burton Wells Center?
Well, if Burton Wells will entertain us, we'll gladly come here every single year.
And do we ever ask for, and this is no offense to you, proof that the money was donated to verify that?
Well, I'm thinking, yeah, I mean, that makes sense, certainly, and I do believe, I think he's offering up that we can select a Beaufort charity.
So what I've done in the past is the charity that we donate to, I have them participate and show up on the last day. I give them, you know, the advertisement check, but I also hand them a personal check or a business check to the charity. And you can check on our webpage, you'll see where I'm sure if you contacted Low Country Boys and Girls Club and the Bluffton Self-Help, I have letters from both organizations too, unfortunately not with me, that appreciative of the contributions. We're not a fly-by-night organization looking to pilfer money from people. It's, with me, it's an age thing, right? The older I get, the more I want to give back, because I see those who are in need, clearly need it.
Yeah, I think the biggest issue for us is, I mean, as I said before, I commend what you're doing, I appreciate that, thank you. The biggest issue for us when we've done this in the past, and I think we've donated, maybe Michael C. Riley for a couple days, baseball tournament before, money that would be raised, or for the fire department or whatever else. I think the issue then has been whether we would have increased costs of trash removal or whatever. That would be the only,
Lights, if you needed lights, you don't need lights.
I think our goal is to be done by no later than 6 o'clock on Saturday and 5 o'clock on Sunday. That's our goal.
yeah.
That might be tough, that time of year.
We might be chasing sunlight,
Yeah,
but we're pretty good at kind of keeping things moving.
okay.
We have a lot of good volunteers that can shuffle people around and, you know, because you tend to kind of loiter after a match.
Right.
Your time's up, off you go.
Lights might be.
How do the lights work out there? They just
Yeah.
automatic, they don't turn them off and on if nobody's there, so they're automatically go on like the
Yeah,
fields?
They're set to where you can turn them on
Yeah.
between sunset and 10 o'clock, so there's two buttons to control 4 courts and 4 courts. So if you hit that button, they come on and they'll shut back off again.
Do you normally, so who turns it all off? Who
Just so
turns?
that we set the schedule.
So normally you would have them on anyway, probably during that time?
Well, they don't have to come on with the schedule. That's when, if there's people out there utilizing the courts, they can just go up to one of those buttons.
Oh, okay.
And press it, and the lights will turn on.
So that's an auto shut-off. Is there a possibility of manually shutting those lights off so they're not on necessarily for extra time?
I'm not, I don't know if you go and hit the button, if they turn off again.
Okay.
Um,
We have the same thing in our community. It's a dial switch.
yeah,
And
that's
people are
something-
forever forcing that dial switch and breaking it, but you can turn it, if you need 15 minutes, you can turn it to 20 minutes, and shut off in 20 minutes. Okay.
I would think if this appears to be a request can happen more often, we should ask for a report back, so we have that to take consideration on the next time this group comes in.
Yeah, I mean, we typically don't give approval on a forward basis for things, so I think that's appropriate.
If you wish a recap after the
Well, that'd be
tournament,
fantastic.
I'd gladly do that.
All right, and again, you're talking 500 matches, right?
Approximately, yes.
Yeah, so how many people is that? I mean, it's 4 people per match, right? But-
Correct. So we could be upwards of 1,000 people.
And when you've done this in the past, what has been the issue with trash and Gatorade bottles?
The
and
communities have taken care of it. And so at the end as well, I talked to Brandon about this, is that we'll leave the property cleaner than when we found it. Absent trash, I mean, if there's a trash dumpster there, we'll clean up, dump into the trash dumpster, and, you know, we respect your property.
Anybody want to make any more discussion? Anyone want to make a motion? Eric, I believe you'd be in favor of this?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I make a motion that we grant the rental fee.
Waive the rental fee for this,
Waive the rental fee for those 2 days.
11,
I certainly wasn't
16,
expecting that, but I'd greatly appreciate
11,
it.
16, 11, 17.
Yes.
And you can work with our staff in terms, Brandon, in terms of what we've discussed here, anything they need. Looks like you've complied with the majority. And then we would like to have you back at our, would that be our December meeting or January meeting?
January.
January meeting to give us a recap. That'd be fantastic.
What's the meeting date of your January
January
meeting?
9th.
January 9th, 2:30. It'll be right here, January 9th.
Okay.
I'll be here at 2:37.
Well, I appreciate you saving me the time of not being the last person in the room.
All right. So do we have
I'd second,
Okay.
I'll second that, yep.
do we have the motion covered? Whoever's taking the minutes?
Ron made the motion.
Yeah, Ron made it. Okay,
They go on
second.
video.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Well, thank you very much for what you're doing in our community. We appreciate that.
Thank
Good
you,
luck with the
Councilman, I
event.
appreciate it. Thank you
luck.
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Department reports.
All right, so just Beaufort, we still got adult baseball and softball going on right now, but those playoffs are starting within the next couple of weeks. So those should be wrapping up soon, and then we've got basketball finished up and lacrosse. So I added that one today. So we did a kind of trial lacrosse camp that was headed up by Brock over here. He worked with a couple people in the community to get some coaches out there. We bought some, really rudimentary kind of sticks and borrowed some goals from down in Bluffton to try and see what interest we could get from starting a lacrosse program here in Beaufort. Ideally, we're going to try and get one going in the spring, correct? Yes, the spring. So we're going to run some more clinics on a weekly basis for this fall with those same people that were involved in that lacrosse camp over the summer. So there were 31 people that registered. It was a 3-day camp and went really well. Got really good positive feedback from it.
What were the ages?
It was the same as what we usually do for our other programs. I think we went a little bit higher. So it was 8, 7?
It was 5 to 17.
5 to 17. So, yeah.
And what, so is the thought maybe you'll have a league over here or have a team?
Ideally, yeah. Ideally, we'll put a team together and play in that same league that Bluffton plays in with lacrosse, and give them another location for games to be hosted, and potentially expand our horizons on some of these programs that we're offering.
Carlos, how's lacrosse in the public schools?
The larger teams are South of the Broad, May River, Bluffton, Hilton Head. I think Beaufort High offers North of the Broad. That's the only program with lacrosse students that desire to participate in lacrosse. Would have to do a combination of schools with Beaufort High, so kids at Well Branch and Battery Creek, if they so desire to participate, then there would be some things that would have to be done with the South Carolina High School League with a combination of school piece to allow that to occur. But right now, out of the 6 high schools, we only have 4, and we don't offer it at all on the middle school level.
So you think an awareness thing north of the Broad would help feeder into that and potentially?
It definitely would. I think the more exposure, the better, especially north. Because like I said, it has grown legs and it's off and running south of Broad. It needs to continue to grow north of the Broad.
Good.
So hopefully
Just
by
one
next.
question with that camp.
Yeah.
Was that co-ed, male and female? Or
Yes.
was that?
Yeah, we opened it to all
Okay.
ages, all genders.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then currently, right now, we've got kickball going on. So that should be wrapping up. Actually, that's probably on about the same timeline as adult baseball, softball. Kickball might go a little bit longer. And then we got all our youth sports numbers are up except for cheer. All that registration is closed. As per usual, it's not huge number growth, but we're going up every season. Except for cheer. Cheer, I think, usually goes up and down between year to year.
Any questions? Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, y'all.
So in Bluffton, we just finished up basketball as well. We had a pretty good season, didn't really have any issues. Everything went smooth. We just finished up our adult kickball last week, as well as our outdoor volleyball. Both of those were good seasons. Kind of went down in kickball a little bit, but obviously went up a good portion in volleyball. So right now, we've started all our practices for baseball, softball, flag football, soccer, and cheer. Everybody's got their schedules. The order uniforms are coming in hopefully tomorrow, so they're getting ready to roll. We're going to start our games September 14th, that Saturday. For our adult sports, we got our bronze, co-ed, gold, and silver. All that registration is closed as far as the teams are considered. The player registration still has about 2.5, 3 weeks to get going. So obviously those numbers are way down, but they're going to have to go up. We have 16 bronze teams, 4 co-ed, 5 gold, and 9 silver. So again, it's another huge league. We're just waiting on the players to sign up for the teams.
So what you're saying is, from a team perspective, the team numbers have stayed the same or increased? And
Yes,
this is
the
just-
team numbers themselves are pretty much the same. So the way it works is you have to register your team, and that's where the fee comes from, and then the teams are responsible for the players to sign up, which is a free registration.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they typically.
So the reality is these really aren't
These numbers are
down.
kind of,
Yeah,
they're
it's
obviously
just a
down,
point in
but-
time.
Correct, yes, sir. The season's not gonna start until the 23rd. So we've got, like I said, about 2.5 weeks for all those players to get signed up.
So maybe in the future, it might be good to just see the number of teams.
As a teams, okay.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
because it's just a timing difference. What about the decreases in baseball, softball, and soccer for youth? Do you attribute that to anything?
I think a lot of that's travel ball. There's a lot of organizations now in Bluffton that are kind of expanding into travel ball for both baseball and softball. So I think that's part of it. The soccer, I'm not really sure. I mean, 34, that's not.
It's not really
that big of a
significant, yeah.
big increase. Some of those kids might have gone to flag football, which is why flag's up.
Sure.
But like you said, it's only 34, so it's not really that big of a decrease. Our senior softball, we only had 2 teams sign up. So one of the teams ended up moving to our bronze division, and then the other one we ended up having to give a refund because we only had the 2 teams. And then the indoor volleyball, that's getting ready to start the 14th, I believe it is. Not the 14th, the 16th. That's starting the 16th. We got 6 teams, 7 teams, 6 or 7 teams for our indoor volleyball.
But in general, you feel pretty good about the amount of participants?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, that adult softball will probably go over what it was last year.
Sure.
Like I said, we're just waiting on that.
Any more questions? Any questions? Thank you.
Yeah. World Series recap. As you guys know, we had the World Series here, the 26th through the schedule through the 31st, but we didn't have to go to the if needed game on the 30th or the 31st. So we ended that Wednesday. We ended up with 22,553 parents, grandparents came through the doors. So that was a good attendance for us. I reached out to the Beaufort Sports Council to see if they could help us out. They helped us out with getting the hotel rooms and whatnot that we were required to get. They estimated that we had an economic impact of almost $1 million for the community, and they estimated the room demand was 1,584. It was a great event overall. We had a little hiccup Friday night. We got some rain. We started to play, got rained out, started to play and got rained out. So Saturday night, we played till early in the morning because of the rain out Friday night. But once we got caught up, everything was smooth. It was a great tournament, no complaints. We've reached out about possibly hosting it again. Unfortunately, it's booked the next 2 years. Hattiesburg has it next year. Louisiana has it the following year. So it's not available again until 2027. But it's something that we've looked at and are considering.
So in general, everyone felt good about the location and
Yes,
felt
yeah,
good
they,
about
they
the-
loved it. Both Tommy and Ricky, right? Rusty. Tommy and Rusty. They had nothing but great things to say. They loved it. So,
Great.
yep.
Any questions? Dixie Boys? How did it, did we have a team?
We did.
how did we do?
We had our 13U team went 0-2.
No, 14.
14 went 0-2.
But they also did play, they did play.
Yeah, they did play
State
the
champion and then
yeah.
also the eventual.
Yeah, so they did good. And then the 13U went 2-2.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's great.
yeah. A
Fantastic.
good turnout and good representation. So,
Great.
all right.
Thank you.
Yeah, the old days when we used to go 0-2 and.
I'll just briefly go over camps. So camps ended early August, had about 400 folks, children registered for it. We had soccer, tennis, lacrosse, arts and crafts, athletics camps. So we revamped program from the previous year. For 2025, we've got other big plans, looking to do some spring break camps, some specialty camps. Good to see a baseball camp maybe over the summer, et cetera. And then I guess for the bigger piece here is we will be looking at pricing structure going into 2025 to kind of figure out if there's a way to make it more economical for some of our lower income folks. So that's going to be a focus of mine over the next several months and potentially present something to you so you can approve maybe a tiered pricing system.
Sure, sure. Great.
Super.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
We still have the 8 centers. The attendance was a little bit down over the summer months. Lots of people on vacations and spending time with grandchildren and what have you. We did host some pictures of different days of events they had. Last week, at the end of August, was a senior appreciation week for one of the senior centers. So they dressed up something different every day that week. They had Hat Day and Western Day. Just, it was great. They enjoyed it. You see some of their activities. They're out there picking from the U-Pick on St. Helena. And another group went to the Harriet Tubman statue that's right here locally. And then the group down in the left, well, my left, that was Glorious Grandma Dress Up Day. So we're having fun. We were closed for 3 days for Hurricane Debbie. During those 3 days, we were able to deliver 330 shelf-stable emergency boxes to the recipients that are homebound. And we handed out an additional 63 for all of the participants that came that Monday. We were closed that Tuesday, Wednesday, and then the state also closed us that Thursday. So that was a great turnout for that. And we delivered 3,220 home delivery boxes for the month of July and August. And then our group dining, which is our center-based program, was 3,080 for those 2 months combined.
That's pretty impressive, really. Yeah. Wow.
We serve a lot.
Didn't we get a couple new vans too? Didn't we lease a couple new vans?
They are said to be on the way. We do have, we're putting that big bus that we got to work every day. So, yeah, I'll throw up a sample calendar for you guys next time.
Okay. All right. Well, great job. Any questions? Thank you.
Florence.
Hello.
Hello.
For Battery Creek Pool, our hours are still the same. We also offer our school swim lessons for Battery Creek. It started this past Tuesday. The programs we have is the Finn swim team, and then the scuba. He's starting up again. And then we have the two high schools that are there, May River and Bluffton High, because Bluffton Pool is closed. And then our patron check-in for July was 253, and then August was 240. The reason for that is because Battery Creek was closed because the pump went down for about a month.
How does it, I mean, it's just difficult to get the parts to,
So the pump had to be rebuilt. So it's a brand new pump and everything like that. The pump that we had before, they no longer make that pump. So it had to be a brand new pump built.
yeah, I think we had an issue at our pool. The pool was, not this year, but last year, with supply chain issues because of a pump, was down like for months. So.
And then only certain people can put the pump together. So.
Okay.
Beaufort Pool, same hours as well. The swim lessons that we have there for school swim lessons, they start this coming up Monday, Monday through Thursdays. The high school swim team is the Beaufort High swim team, and then the patrons for that pool was for July 890 and August 1,054. And that was because Battery Creek was closed. So everyone transitioned to Beaufort Pool.
So every time a Finn swimmer comes to the pool, are they counted in the patron check-in?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
What's the news on
As of right now, it is still closed till February. I've driven by a few times. Most of the doors are gone, so it's just a shell. The main door to the entrance of the pool is completely gone, but it's all fenced in to where no one can walk in there.
Well, it's a construction site, basically.
Correct.
Do we have any update on that, or are you, Director?
No, they have 200 and however many days to have the job finished, and that's when we come back with comments on what's taking place. So it's in the hands of the construction company.
And do they give us bi-weekly updates or anything? Nope. Nope, that was the contract that we signed, huh?
I would have loved to have them, but they don't. They gave us a time frame on when they're gonna finish.
No, okay. And that's February 1st?
We're hoping February 1st.
I don't know, I'm not involved in contract letting. I know that y'all, I know Ms. Cooler is here probably for the Finn, so I just wanted to ask that question. I know it's tough because that pool gets the most use.
That is
So,
very popular.
Okay, well, that's basically outside of your control. You have nothing to do there.
Correct.
Yeah.
The Alvin Settles outdoor pool, it is officially closed for people. Our patron check-in was 3,425, and then for August was 777. That was because school went back in. The moment school goes back in, the pool patron check-in goes down. So a lot of people use that pool during the summer times. We have our Doggy Day coming up every Saturday in September. For dogs under 50 pounds, 8 to 10:30, and then dogs over 50 pounds, 10:30 to 1. We had a lot of people request last year if it could be more than one day.
Wow.
So.
And if I have a big dog and a little dog, they can't swim together, huh?
As long as they're comfortable with each other.
Okay, I understand.
We saw some little issues last time with some bigger and smaller dogs, so that's why we tried to divide.
I presume that our legal department is good with liability for, that we're all good with that, so, okay.
Is there a scale?
No, I don't know. I don't know. Wow, so that's very popular, huh?
A lot of people liked it last year.
Yeah?
And like I said, they were asking if it could be more than just one day, because it's always been the Saturday after Labor Day. But somebody made a comment, because I think it was on 9/11 one year, and they're like, could we have it on a different day? So,
Okay. Well, I guess you can evaluate it this year and see if the additional 3 days, if
correct.
kind
We're
of,
going to see if it works out for all four. If
Right.
not, then we'll go back to maybe twice, 2 times, so.
All right. And then is the pool when is the pool officially closed?
That'll be it.
Okay.
We are thinking about doing a surprise event in December. We just haven't advertised it yet or anything like that. But
Okay.
for right now, the pool is closed till next summer.
Are you continuing putting chemicals in the pool?
Yes, enough to where the pool doesn't go green.
Okay.
But yeah, enough to where we're not spending as much chemicals.
Any other questions for Antoinette?
Cool. Our classes that we offer, we have our group and private swim lessons that are all year round. Our stroke improvement for adults are year round, and then we offer CPR and lifeguarding classes. As of right now, we don't have a lifeguarding class set up, but we are thinking about having the next one real soon. We didn't know what was going on with Battery Creek, that's why we had to hold off on all that.
So we usually don't have enough lifeguards, right?
Correct. Currently, at this moment, we
Yeah.
have enough because we only have 2 pools open right now.
Right, so are those people who typically lifeguard at Bluffton doing it at the others, or?
The Bluffton staff has moved to Battery Creek Pool. I divided them up. Some of them were at the outdoor pool during the summertime, but most of them are now at Battery Creek.
Yep.
So, any other questions for the pools? Cool.
Deputy Director, introduction.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, I want to take this time out to introduce our new Deputy Director for Beaufort County. Shane Stracker, will you come on up? He's our new Deputy Director. It was a close race, but he endured to the finish.
What's the other guy look like?
He's much shorter.
Or other gal?
Yeah,
Unless
he
he
was.
just got-
Yeah. But no, we are definitely glad to have Shane on, and it was a pleasure to be able to hire within, and all the candidates that were interviewed were basically out of state, and so except a few staff that also interviewed. So it was a pleasure to make sure that we bring on the right person, and it was a better pleasure for me to bring somebody on in-house who actually can step up and be our next deputy director, and someday, you know, when I retire after 20, 30 years, be our director.
Thank you, Eric. And I don't have a lot to say, but I'm excited to take on this new role. Just so you know, I'm also doing a little bit of the admin stuff right now too. So if you need any help there, please let me know. But I'm very excited. Make sure we get some fields for Alan here, and excited to work with everybody.
Thank you. Welcome. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. All right, we don't get a report from you, Eric? You're the man.
That was the report.
That was the report,
my
huh?
report. I mean,
That's all that happened since the last
Yeah.
meeting. You've been busy.
Well, I'll go ahead and say it then, Dr. Cave. I definitely want to see if you can get in touch with Wendy. The ball is back in her corner because we're ready to finalize the shared use agreement, so
Good.
that we can actually start using school board facilities and vice versa. So that's the only update that we have. We're waiting on the legal team from Beaufort County School Board to finalize the agreement, and that should be done real soon. I know that our legal team sent over the final changes that needed to be made. Once that happens, we'll be ready to start that shared use agreement.
Are the legal teams working in the spirit of cooperation?
They are. They have
That's
been
good.
cooperating really well together, playing great in the sandbox, so we're excited about that.
Well, I'd like to commend you and Carlos and your teams, because I think that has been a major issue with this county recreation and the school district. And the shared use agreement, I think is gonna be a great thing.
And also, you know, I do have one other thing. Brock has done a fantastic job with actually bringing program to the St. Helena area, but we're gonna need that shared use agreement, so to make that happen. So Brock did an amazing job, and he's putting surveys out and bringing some programming to the St. Helena area so that we can have more programming out there. So, we're excited about that as well.
Fantastic.
I'm gonna weigh on that real quick too, because I kind of jumped the shark on the school use agreement. We are sharing a use of Bluffton High School with we were gonna do an adapted soccer program for children with special needs at Bluffton Center. We had some coordination, not challenges. We decided to move inside, so we're actually using one of the schools because we happen to know Dr. Rodriguez kind of stepped in and kind of made that happen. So decided to get to the front of this legal agreement and start using the schools anyway, so.
Well, that's great that you can do that. I mean, we spend a lot of money in schools, we spend a lot of money in recreation in terms of facilities, and I think that, especially in some of the underserved areas of the county, this is gonna be a game changer, could be for them, so commend.
The schools have reached out to us as well, because they want to use, either Buckwalter or Burton to hold with SOAR, the special needs, the
Sure.
Special Olympics folks, use our facilities to run a training in November, so we're kind of negotiating that too, outside of the
Great,
shared use agreement.
great, fantastic. Does anybody else have any, thing for the good of the cause here that they wanna mention or
I think our
discuss?
next meeting is November 7th, not 27th.
Oh, this says November. Yeah, so that's incorrect there. It's my anniversary.
Good.
Wow, my 32nd anniversary, on November 7th.
Gonna be on time that day?
Yeah.
You'll be early.
You'll
be early.
Yeah, I'll be early.
He'd have to get home.
I'll be early, great, okay. All right, I'll take a motion to
Motion to
adjourn.
adjourn, I motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all for being here, and thank you for all the work that y'all do.